Hey guys, I am here tonight and I'm not going to do a cooking recipe. One thing that I had a discussion with my husband about this past week was how many carbs are in vegetables? How many vegetables can we really have, and why aren't we eating more, or why are we afraid to eat more? Remember that keto is going to be, the clinical definition of ketogenic is less than 20 grams of carbs. And then an 80, 20, 75, 15 percentage of protein, fat to protein. So it's going to be the higher fat, moderate protein approach. And you know, you hear all the time, vegetables are not an essential nutrient, or they're not an essential carb, so you don't need to have them. But everybody is kind of hung up on, how am I going to get my fiber if I'm not having vegetables? And I want you to understand that vegetables, the right vegetables, are not as high in carb as you think they are, and you get a whole lot more than you ever thought. So I wanted to show you a variety of vegetables and things that I had around my house that and how many carbs they are, so you can kind of judge and see what a serving size is. So I'm going to point my camera down now because I want you to see that I have a digital scale, and we're going to look at the scale and use it. That's the best way for you to find out how many carbs in the vegetable that you want. So let me go ahead and do that. All right. And I'm not sure if you can see this when it lights up, but it's right now at 0 grams. Now, I got this scale at Goodwill. I think I paid maybe $2 for it, and it only reads in grams. I don't know how to switch it to ounces. It was, like I said, a Goodwill find for a couple of bucks. I can figure out how to do grams. And since I've had this, I've determined that actually going by grams is a much safer way of tracking things than if you go by, like on this spinach, it's half a cup is a serving size, and that can be kind of hard to figure out because somebody's going to mush their stuff in more, or they're not going to pack it in as tightly. So, and it also says on this that half a cup is 115 grams. So that's where your scale comes in, because it's going to give you a more accurate idea. So how my scale works is that I just put whatever container I want on top of it, and then I turn it on, and then I can add my vegetables or whatever I'm tracking to the right thing. The first thing I'm going to show you is extra fine green beans. I love these. I get these at Aldi every week. I usually have a bag or two in my refrigerator. And the package says that 3/4 of a cup, or 85 grams, is going to be 4 grams of carbs and 2 grams of fiber. There's even a gram of protein in here, which is kind of cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out how much is 85 grams. So I'm going to go ahead and just start adding it. There's 53, 63, 80, 82, 84, 85 grams. Okay, there you go. So that is 85 grams of green beans. That's going to be about 3/4 of a cup. And again, that's 4 grams of carbs and 2 grams of fiber. If you do net carbs, this is only 2 net carbs, okay? That's not bad for 2. That's a good serving size. The next thing that I'm going to show you is going to be broccoli florets. I got these at Dollar General Market, and it shows on the back that a serving size is 1 cup, or 81 grams. It's 4 grams of carbs and 3 grams of fiber. So for 1 cup, if you're doing net carbs, 1 cup, or 81 grams, is going to be 1 net carb. So let's see what 81 grams of broccoli florets looks like. Okay, there we go, 81 grams. That is 1 net carb. Not bad, huh? What you can do is put some good butter and sour cream and bacon with that, and you've got a great thing. So there's broccoli and there's green beans. The next thing that I want to show you that we use is spinach. We like to make creamed spinach. Well, I like to make it, but my husband likes to eat it. I'm not a big fan of spinach, of cooked spinach, but so I don't eat it. I don't like how slimy it gets, and I'm a real texture issue person, so I do not use, or I don't eat spinach like this. I like that's really loud. But I like fresh spinach in my salads, but I don't like spinach in this form. That's just I am just not a proper Southern girl, I guess. Okay, so for this, the serving size is going to be 115 grams, and that is a total of 4 grams of carbs and 4 grams of fiber. So essentially this, if you do net carbs, is a free food. Now, do I recommend net versus total? No, but oops, hold on. I forgot to zero this out. Do I recommend net versus total? That's a personal choice you need to make. There can be carb creep, especially with something like spinach. But I think that if you're getting your carbs from vegetables, that's a very good reason to do net. Okay, that is 116 grams right there. And that is a really nice serving. If you add some cream cheese and some spices with that, that would make a really great great side dish. And again, this is 4 grams of carbs and 4 grams of fiber. So that is actually a 0 carb thing, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to look at is going to be one of my favorite things. I have one every day, and that's a salad. I don't know if I can see it with this, but we'll try. Okay, so I looked up on the USDA nutrition database, and I got some information from there. I forgot that this has a nutrition label on the back. It says 1.5 cups or 85 grams is 3 grams of carbs and 2 grams of fiber. So that would be 1 net carb. It would be 3 for 85 grams. So let's see what 85 grams looks like. Do you think you're going to be surprised? Let's see. All right, there you go. Right there, that is 85 grams of salad. 85 grams. You get all of that for 3 grams of carbs and 2 grams of fiber. See why I have a salad every day? Doesn't that look yummy? Add in your meat and your great fatty dressing with this, a little bit of cheese, and dude, this is so great. This is a really great thing for you to have on a daily basis. It's not bad at all. Now the next stuff that I'm gonna look at, oh, one more, or 2 more things that I've already got ready. The first thing I'm going to show is going to be one thing that I will not do net carbs on, which is chopped walnuts. we have discovered that walnuts and pecans aren't bad at all. This is a 1/4 cup or 30 grams for 20 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber, and 5 grams of protein. So it's 20 grams of fat and 5 grams of protein. It does have 4 grams of carbs in it, so you need to be aware of that. Again, I do not count net on nuts or seeds because of their nature of, I think you should only count net on vegetables. So let's see, what does 30 grams look like? All right, there we go. That is 30 grams of walnuts. Not bad for 4 grams, right? Well, yeah. But if you wanted to use them in a fat bomb recipe or maybe a keto cake or something like that, that would be a really good idea. And, you know, if you're only getting a little handful, then it's only 1 gram. So be aware of nuts. I do not do net on those. Now the last thing I'm going to show you before I start doing some other stuff is lemons. Lemons are good for a lot of things. I've been researching lemons help with gout and kidney stones and all sorts of things. And everybody kind of feels like lemons should be off limits because they're a fruit. But what I did is, like I said, I went to the USDA database, and I found out that I do everything by grams, and all of the nutrition information that I always look up is going to be by 100 grams because we can always adjust from there, but I want to know how does this 100 grams compare to that 100 grams. So 100 grams of lemon without the peel is 9.32 grams of carbs with 2.8 grams of fiber. But 7 grams of lemon, like in a wedge or a wheel, is only 0.65 grams of carbs with 0.2 grams of fiber. So let's see what 7 grams looks like. There you go. I got it right the first time. That is a 7 gram wedge. Now the information on the USDA website said 7 grams without the peel, and I'm not really quite sure about that. And probably if you're going to be using it in your water, you're going to be squeezing it. And what I've heard is 1 gram of juice is going to be one tablespoon of juice is 1 gram of carbs. So there you go. So lemon in your water, lemon juice for other things is not a terrible thing. Just make sure you're doing it in moderation. Okay, now some other things that I have around the house that we try to buy pretty regularly is going to be celery, cucumbers, and jalapenos. Okay, so this is a really funky old cucumber. It's not terrible, it's just got a couple little spots that need to be taken care of. Cucumbers are one of my favorites, but it's better if you peel them. With the peel, 100 grams of cucumbers is 3.63 grams of carbs with 0.5 grams of fiber. But if it's peeled, your 100 grams becomes 2.16 grams of carbs. So you're going to definitely want to peel your cucumber. And I'm running out of space here, guys. So all you're going to do is just run a peeler through it. And this is a really nice thing. If you're not going to eat 100 grams, but I'm going to show you what 100 grams looks like so you get an idea. But you're not more than likely going to eat 100 grams. So let's see. All right, so that's peeled, and just because this is an older one, I'm not really going to care about making sure that it is cut up very well. But let's see what 100 grams looks like of this. If I can get everything moved out of my way. Okay. So here we go. It's zeroed out. Let's see what 100 grams of cucumbers looks like. Do you think it's going to be half a cucumber, a quarter of a cucumber, a whole cucumber? Let's find out. Okay. There we go. It's as close as I'm going to get it. That's 103 grams right there. Okay, so that is about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 nice sized slices of a cucumber. Is about 100 grams. Now, I like to just eat cucumbers and dip or celery and dip at lunchtime. So for me, I would probably be okay with that 2.16 grams. I'll count it as 2 grams. I round down and round up and all that. So that's 2 grams. If you add that to your 3-gram salad, you've only had 5 grams right here. And that is a lot of food, guys. That is a lot of food. And then again, I said celery. And celery is another one that I love, love, love to use. So I'm going to go ahead, pull off a few of these, and we're going to cut them up real quick and see how much it is. Now for celery, 100 grams of celery is going to be 2.97 grams of carbs with 1.6 grams of fiber. So that's not bad at all. And that's for 100 grams. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to chop it up into celery sticks. Because if you're like me, I like veggies and dip, and I'll make my my taco seasoning dip, or my ranch dip, or my dill dip, and it just makes for a really nice light addition to your lunch. So you can make slices like this, and then if you decide you want to use some in cooking, they're already in better sizes so that when you go to chop them up, that's not too bad. Okay, so here we go. And I'm actually going to, let's see, there we go. All right, so let's see what 100 grams of celery looks like. Well, guys, that is 3 celery sticks, and that is 97 grams. So it's not even 100 grams. And look at all of that you get for 3 grams of carbs and 1.5 grams of fiber. So really it's more like 1.5 grams, right? So, yeah, and then the last thing I have, I'm going to put my gloves on for, because I keep forgetting my gloves when I make this stuff, and then I inevitably touch my eyes and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on for this last one. And the last thing I'm going to do is jalapenos. Who doesn't love jalapeno poppers? I make them for my husband, and I will just freeze them, and then I can pull them out one at a time or a couple at a time for him to have for lunches or snacks or game food or whatever you want to use it for. Or just, like a fun lunch kind of thing. So all you're going to do is you're going to cut the top off and then de-seed it. And the seeds are going to be what makes it the most spicy. So just be aware of that. If you like the spicy, then go for it. If you don't, that's not a big deal. And all I do is I just cut them in half lengthwise and then just pull all the seeds out. Okay, so there's that one. I know I'm putting it all over my all over my countertop. I meant to do the Rachel Ray thing and get a little bowl to do this, you know, put my extras in, but I didn't. So, staying with the 100-gram principle, 100 grams of jalapenos is 6.5 grams of carbs with 2.8 grams of fiber, which is kind of amazing. So let's see, I've got 4 halves of jalapenos here. When you eat poppers, more than likely you're only going to eat 1 or 2, but let's see how much these 4 weigh. That is 63 grams. So that's going to be probably closer to 5 grams of carbs for all that, which is a little high. But if it's a treat or a special occasion, you know you're going to be stuffing these with cream cheese and cheddar cheese, maybe a little bacon, and wrap them with bacon, and there's going to be lots of really good fat there, and you may eat only 1 of these or 2 of these. So yeah, so I'm going to leave my gloves on, but I'm going to turn this up. All right, so what do you think? Were you surprised? What surprised you the most? Was it how much you get or how little you get? The carb counts of the vegetables that I talked about. What vegetables do you like, and what carb counts do you use total or do you use net? Do you net everything or do you just net vegetables? It's always a good discussion to have. Personally, my personal belief is if I'm eating good vegetables with lots of fiber in them, I'm good with kind of evening it out. I usually don't go over 20 grams of carbs anyway. I mean, if you look at this salad and you add some cucumbers to it or some celery or whatever, that salad itself may only have 6 or 8 grams of carbs in it. And then I might have a cup of green beans for dinner. So there's another 3 or 4 grams, but all in all, I've only had maybe 10, 15 grams of carbs in a day. So I don't normally hit real close to that top 20 unless, excuse me, unless I eat nuts. I think the jalapenos are getting to me. So anyway, okay, I think those jalapenos are getting to me. All right, so I wanted to show you, don't be afraid of vegetables. Vegetables are a good thing. They have lots of great vitamins in them. Personally, I run better on a little bit of vegetable in my diet. I could never do 0 carb. 0 carb makes me sad. I do not have as positive an attitude. I hurt more. I have less energy, and I love my salads and my cooked vegetables. So so don't be afraid of them, and go ahead and eat them. So go ahead and let me know what you thought of my video. Don't forget to like and comment down below. Guys, I am at 96 subscribers. I would love to see 100. That if I have 100 subscribers, that I can do some YouTube live videos. And I've wanted to do that, especially like at lunchtime, because I do work from home, but I do a lot of cooking of my lunches. So I would like to do some YouTube live videos at some point. So go ahead and hit subscribe so I can get 100 or more subscribers. Okay? Have a good night, guys. Go eat your vegetables.